Want to hear a magical story? You're in the right place! Welcome to Story Kids. This is the place where stories come alive, full of fun, friends, and imagination. Don't forget to subscribe and join us for the next big adventure.
Once upon a time in a bustling city, there lived a young girl named Lily who had a peculiar habit. She loved collecting hats. Not just any hats, mind you, but hats that were lost or forgotten. She had a knack for finding them in the most unexpected places, like the bottom of a fountain or perched atop a telephone wire. Towering trees with silver leaves reached towards the sky, and tiny houses made of acorns and pebbles dotted the landscape. In the distance, she could hear the faint tinkling of bells. There were squirrels with wings, rabbits that hopped on stilts, and even a snail that pulled a tiny carriage like a horse. Startled, Lily turned to see a squirrel with shimmering wings perched on a nearby branch. Who would do such a thing? Lily asked, outraged. A wise old owl hooted softly. The Shadow Weaver, he said, his voice grave. Some could grant wishes, others could transport their wearers to different worlds. This hat, she realized, was no ordinary headwear. It was a thinking cap, capable of enhancing her intelligence and problem-solving skills. Smoke was curling out of its chimney, and the air around it crackled with an ominous energy. A moment passed, then the door creaked open, and a shadowy figure emerged. The Shadow Weaver threw back his head and laughed. "Very well," he said. "If you're so brave, come and get them." With that, he vanished inside his hut. His eyes glowed red in the dim light, and his voice was like gravel grinding. "What do you want?" he rasped. "I'm here to take back what you stole," Lily said, her voice ringing with confidence. "The acorns." The Shadow Weaver sneered. "So you're the hero who's come to defeat me," he said, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Just then, the animals from the Whispering Woods appeared, and they all gasped when they saw the Shadow Weaver. "You tricked us," the badger exclaimed. "We thought you wanted to play a game," squeaked the winged squirrel. And with that, she and the animals spent the rest of the day laughing and playing until the sun began to set. The Shadow Weaver watched them, a strange feeling growing inside him. For the first time in a long time, he felt a twinge of regret. "Because it's fun," Lily said with a mischievous grin. He was speechless. And that's exactly what Lily had planned. Being a hero wasn't always easy, but it was always an adventure. The thinking cap only worked when she wore it, but it had completely blocked the Shadow Weaver's ability to speak. "You don't seem very happy," she said. "Why is that?" The Shadow Weaver sighed. "I don't know," he said. "I've been causing trouble for so long that I forgot what it felt like to be good." Lily smiled. "Well," she said, "it's not too late to change." Then suddenly she heard a knock at the door. When she opened it, she saw the little girl from the Whispering Woods standing on her doorstep. "And if you win, I'll give you whatever is inside my bag." The Shadow Weaver hesitated, then said, "All right, let's play. You and all those foolish animals. You don't understand what you're up against." Lily knew that the Shadow Weaver would need some time to change, but she also knew that he could do it. She slipped the green hat back on her head and closed her eyes, concentrating hard. She wanted to go back to the Whispering Woods to see her friends. But when she opened her eyes, she was still in her room. After all, even a villain could learn to be a hero if given the chance. This, Lily knew, was the home of the Shadow Weaver. He lives in the dark forest and has done this to many lands. She concentrated hard, using the thinking cap's magic to come up with a plan to defeat the Shadow Weaver. After a few moments, a smile spread across her face. She had a trick up her sleeve that she was sure would work. "Our acorns have gone missing," a rabbit wearing spectacles hopped forward. She knocked on the door again, and when the Shadow Weaver opened it, she said in her sweetest voice, "Would you like to play a game?" The shadow weaver looked at her suspiciously. "What do you think this hat can do?" The shadow weaver thought for a moment. "Can it make you invisible?" he asked. "Nope," Lily said with a wink. "Can it make you stronger?" The shadow weaver shook his head. "I don't know," he muttered. "Can it make you smarter?" Lily asked. "What game?" he asked. "A guessing game," Lily said, holding up the shimmering green hat. "I'll put this hat on my head, and you have to guess what it does." But to do that, she needed something powerful, something magical, and she knew just what to do. Lily returned to the Whispering Woods where she had first met the animals. The forest was dark and gloomy, just as the name suggested. Twisted branches reached out like gnarled fingers, and an eerie silence hung in the air. As she ventured deeper into the forest, Lily noticed something strange. The trees seemed to be whispering to each other, their voices like rustling leaves. She placed the shimmering green hat on her head and closed her eyes. When she opened them again, she was back in her own room. "And without them, we won't make it through the winter." All of them seemed delighted by Lily's arrival. "Welcome to our humble abode," said a gruff yet friendly voice. Startled, Lily turned to see a badger with a long white beard standing before her. "We've been expecting you, child." "Where am I?" she whispered, her voice echoing in the strange surroundings. Her collection was as diverse as it was large, from a dashing pirate hat to a majestic queen's crown. And she stored them all in an old, battered suitcase that she kept under her bed. One day, while rummaging through her collection, Lily stumbled upon a hat that was unlike any she had ever seen before. It was woven from a deep forest green material that shimmered like moonlight on water. Intrigued, Lily slipped the hat onto her head. In an instant, she felt a jolt, like being struck by lightning. The world around her shimmered and then everything went black. When Lily regained her sight, she found herself in a place that seemed straight out of a fairy tale. Suddenly, a little girl emerged from behind a mushroom that was larger than Lily herself. The girl had hair the color of sunshine and eyes that twinkled like stars. "Who are you?" Lily asked. The girl smiled, revealing teeth as white as pearls. "I live here," she said. "And you must be the one they've been expecting." Before Lily could respond, the girl took her hand and said, "Come, I'll introduce you to everyone." As they walked deeper into the magical realm, more peculiar creatures came into view. "Expecting me?" Lily echoed, confused. "But why?" The badger gestured with his paw. "We need your help," said another voice. It turned out that someone had stolen all of their acorns, and without them, the animals wouldn't survive the coming winter. Determined to help the animals, Lily set off to find the shadow weaver and retrieve the stolen acorns. She remembered the stories her grandmother used to tell her about the magical properties of certain hats. With renewed determination, Lily journeyed to the dark forest to confront the shadow weaver. Then suddenly, the trees parted, revealing a clearing. And in the center of the clearing stood a hut made of twisted branches and covered with moss. Taking a deep breath, Lily knocked on the hut door. "I may be small," Lily said, "but I'm not as weak as you think." Thinking quickly, Lily sat down on a nearby tree stump and put the shimmering green hat back on her head. Removing the hat, she stood up and walked towards the hut. The shadow weaver narrowed his eyes. "Why should I play your game?" he asked. Lily placed the hat on her head. "Okay," she said. The shadow weaver's eyes widened. "Yes," he said in a low voice. "That's exactly what it does." The shadow weaver tried to speak, but the words wouldn't come out. "Now," Lily said, turning to the animals, "who wants to hear a funny joke?" As the animals prepared to leave, Lily approached the shadow weaver. And with that, She and the animals left the dark forest and returned to the Whispering Woods, where they celebrated with a feast of berries and nuts. The next morning, Lily woke up and made her way to the old suitcase under her bed. She took a deep breath and tried again. Still nothing. The hat wasn't working anymore. Lily frowned, wondering why. "Are you ready for an adventure?" she asked with a wide grin, "because we need your help again." And Lily couldn't help but smile back.
Thank you for watching, little dreamers. We hope you love the story as much as we loved sharing it with you. If you enjoy the adventure, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss a magical bedtime story. And leave a comment to tell us what your favorite part was. Sweet dreams, and we'll see you next time for another magical tale. Good night.